Hi Gary, hi May. My name's Doris and I'm with American Income Life. And I talked to you yesterday a little bit about the benefits that Mark referred to you through the FOP, and I would like to explain them to you. Are you familiar with unions like Teamsters, firefighters, electricians?
Yes.
As you know, they have some of the best benefits out there. And because Mark is in good standing with the union, he has extended those same benefits to you. We all have good benefits through our jobs, but when we quit or retire or move, sometimes we lose a bulk or all of our benefits. So my job is to bring these benefits that Mark has extended and explain them to you. I'm here for 3 reasons: to tell you about the food bank, to talk about the benefit package, and to see if you qualify for anything permanent. First of all, the food bank. Have either of you been unemployed? Well, what we do, AIL collects food for members in their time of need. So if you'd like to contribute a can or two of non-perishable items, just let me know. Remind me before I leave. The other benefit that's available is the health discount card. It is no cost card and it will give you discounts on vision, prescriptions, hearing, and chiropractic. The service, here is the service number and the website. And it's, what you do is you take this card in the middle and you fill it out here. You tear it off and this becomes an envelope, and you can mail it, put a stamp on it, and a discount card will come to your home. The other benefit we have are the child safety kits. Are you familiar with Amber Alerts?
Yes.
Okay, so police are actively searching for over 2,300 children every day. Did you know that?
No.
Well, we have this child safety kit. You would put your child's name on the date you completed it. You put their personal information, their name, birth date, height, eye color, address, phone numbers. Physical description goes here: any kind of birthmarks, scars, glasses, any kind of identifying marks. They give you a ink strip so you can actually put your child's fingerprint on the card. And we ask that you attach a hair sample here. Pull it out by the follicle. On the back, you attach a photo and put the child's age in the photo and the date the photo was taken. And we ask that you fill out this information in pencil so that you can update it regularly. We also ask that you keep it in your freezer, which will preserve the DNA on there, and also, in God forbid something would happen, you'd be in a stressful situation trying to look for it, you would just know that it's in the freezer. So this is a great benefit. The other benefit is the family information guide. You have a will, right?
Yes.
Okay. So remind me before I go to see if you qualify for final expenses. This is a very important part of information. You fill out your vital statistic information here, of course, name, address, social security numbers, birthplace, mother's name, father's name. Are you a veteran?
No.
Okay. Your spouse's vital statistics, people to be notified. Do you know that millions of dollars goes unclaimed every year because people don't know that they have a policy, or they have trouble finding the beneficiary? Your last will and testament information goes here. Financial institution information. Do you use checking or savings? And the account number, so your family will be able to close them out once you pass on. And funeral service requests, whether you want to be buried or cremation. And you can actually take this to the bank and sign it there, and they can notarize it for you, and it becomes a legal document. So that's a great benefit. And since Mark is in good standing with the union and with AIL, you are actually allowed to extend benefits to people that you care about, family members, friends, and so this is a $2,000 gift certificate that you can give for an AD&D policy. So they have to qualify. They have to be over 21 years old and they have to be employed. So do you have somebody offhand that you can give me their name so we can call them and see? Okay, so your brother Andrew, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a text that says that you are extending this benefit to them, and what you can do is send that text to people so that they have a heads up. Okay? Okay. And we'll call Andrew since he lives in town. Okay? So, this is his phone number? Okay. So let me call him. Hi Andrew, this is Doris with American Income Life. And we do many of the permanent benefits for people who are in unions. And I'm sitting here with Gary and May, and he arranged for you to receive a no-cost AD&D policy. And my job is to get it delivered to you. So when something happens, you have it for your records. What time is it best for me to drop it off to you? Will your wife be there? Because it applies to her too. Okay. I'll see you at 5 o'clock then. Thank you. Okay. So, Gary, just because Mark extended some of the benefits to you doesn't mean you automatically enroll. I need to ask you some questions. Have you had any arrests, including DUIs, in the past ever?
No.
Okay. Have you had tobacco or marijuana in the last 12 months?
No.
How about prescription medications? Are either of you on prescription meds?
No.
Okay. Do you have a history of health problems like cancer, diabetes, or heart disease?
No.
Okay. So let me explain the benefits. It's determined on three things: your family situation, the benefits that you already have, and your income. Okay? We have a program called Our Power, and it's an old principle that says that you should take your first hour of work during a work week, that first hour's pay, and set it aside for future use for your life and for your family, to protect you. So 1 hour is 1/40th of your weekly income. Okay, so putting that aside is not gonna change your lifestyle any, is it?
No.
Okay. So provided you qualify, we usually set aside $20 to $100 a week. And you know, everybody's employee situation is different depending on how much you make an hour. So, what do you make an hour, Gary?
At the moment, $10.
Okay, and you, May? Okay. So I'm going to show you what setting aside $20 a week will do for your family. Provided you qualify, there's forms that need to be filled out in person, so stop me if you have any questions, okay? Alright, there's three major areas of concern. The first one is accidental injuries, the second is final expenses, and the third is paycheck protection, okay? So, have you ever thought about what you would do in case of an accident? Well, the Labor Advisory Board and American Income Life have given it a lot of thought. And so if you were to have an accident, your medical bills would be covered because you have health insurance, right? And if you got injured on the job, we have workers' compensation for that. But what happens if you have an accident and you can't go to work? Then you have lost wages. So, Gary, if you ended up in the hospital, even though your medical bills are taken care of, no one pays you to be there in the hospital. And May, when you get that phone call saying that you won't, saying that phone call, you're not going to be working either because you're going to be by his side. So, does that mean that the bills, you know, and God forbid something will happen to your kids, then both of you would be in the hospital with your children and nobody pays you to be at the hospital with them. Do the bills stop coming? No. So, if just for going to the hospital, we want to send you $100 just to get something taken care of. If it's you need stitches or just going to the hospital to get it checked out, we'll send you $100. Okay, and any kind of accident on or off the job, the money comes to you at home. Okay, the exception is if you have to stay overnight. If you have to stay overnight, it's $200 a day for up to a full year. So that's $1,400 a week. I imagine that would be very helpful to you. So the other exception is if you're in intensive care. If you end up in intensive care, you get $400 a day, up to 2 weeks. Why? Because it's usually, when you're in intensive care, it's usually a life or death situation. Okay, Gary, who's responsible for your final expenses? Have you either of you planned a funeral? Well, funeral directors, when you end up going to a funeral home, funeral director will tell you, I'm very sorry for your loss. Now who's going to pay the bill? While May is waiting for life insurance money to come in, she has to make that payment. We've seen people doing car washes and GoFundMe pages, or she would have to take it out of savings or borrow the money, right? Well, we have this. It's called Freedom of Choice, and it takes care of your final expenses. It's good at any funeral home. And Gary, we would set aside $15,000 for you, and May, it would be $15,000 for you. And whatever's not used from this benefit would be sent to you directly. The kids are covered up for $10,000. And the kids can convert their coverage for up to $50,000 at age 21, regardless of their health or habits. That's a great benefit. If the exception is if Gary died before the age, either of you died before the age of 65, how would that probably happen? In an accident, right? And what kind of an accident? A car accident. Well, we would give an additional $10,000 plus take care of the final expenses. Common carrier, which means airplane, bus, Uber, we would send an additional $10,000. Now, the other benefit is paycheck protection. So Gary, say you're on your way home from work, you get in a car accident, you have a stroke or a heart attack. Is your paycheck going to keep coming? No, not at all. And May, the bills just keep coming. So you do have life insurance, right? The average is $700,000 to $900,000. And when you die, your family has to start dipping into that money. So, what paycheck protection is when something happens to Gary, May would actually start getting a paycheck for Gary every single month for a full year. Do you think a year is a decent time for you to be able to transition after his death? So May, you can use your insurance money to invest in child's education, retirement, or build an emergency fund. So after 3 years, it would probably be tight financially, right? So we give you some money to help take care of your program so you don't lose it. And when you retire, you can stop contributing to the program because you have a paid up option. We have a thing called the terminal illness rider. And have you ever thought about what would happen if you had a terminal illness? You need cash, right? So if you're diagnosed with a terminal illness and you're not expected to live for more than 6 months or a year, we send half of the final expense to help with expenses, and we have paycheck protection, and the other half comes after you're gone. We have a strike and layoff waiver, which means that if your union goes on strike, we take care of your benefits for up to a year. And if there's a layoff with your union, or layoff, then we'll take care of your program for up to 3 months. And you never have to pay those back. Okay? The benefits are guaranteed and non-cancelable. And if you qualify, nobody can take those away from you. Okay, so let's review what I've shown you. I've shown you what setting aside $20 a week can do for your family. Accidental injury or the benefits, you're covered. Okay? The freedom of choice certificate covers you, and the children for any cause of death. Your paycheck protection will make sure that no matter what happens, moving forward, your final expenses will be paid, and you never have to lose your benefits, even if you get sick or change jobs or you move. Can you see why this is so important? So my job, what my job is because of what Mark did for you, we have a payroll protection, and you won't lose your benefits. That's under your control, not your employer. So rather than taking it, going through your employer, we actually take it out of your bank account, which means that if you change jobs, your protection follows you wherever you go. They're permanent benefits. Okay, so that takes away the burden of somebody, when you die, the burden of somebody having to try and figure out and plan your final expenses. That will be taken care of. So the most important part is that if you qualify. Okay, so what I did for you today says that combined you would be paying $30 a week, and some families want to do more and some want to do something more basic. Which way do you want to go today? While you're thinking, I'll go ahead and ask you some medical questions to see if you